to start talking about our youth and family they are doing wonderful things. And I'd like to welcome Debbie McDonald up and let her tell you about some of the wonderful things she's creating with our youth and family ministry.
Hi there, I am Debbie McDonald. I'm your youth director here at Seaside, and we have some lovely things. Put the whole thing up. Aren't I loud enough? I'm very loud. Okay, so we have some very fun things going on this week for our children and a little help for you parents. Wednesday night, our lovely board president is going to tell you about an event that she's created to allow our children to go look at the Community Resource Center's holiday gifting place. So Trudy's going to tell you a little bit about that. Friday night here at Seaside, Reverend Fran is having a wonderful concert. Yes. And we are going to be having Parents' Night Out in conjunction with that. So we'll be in the Quimby room from 6:30 to 9:30. Feel free to drop off your children, come to Reverend Fran's concert, or go take care of whatever holiday things you need to. And we will be in there from 6:30 to 9:30, and we'll be having some fun things to do with the children. So that's our gift to you this holiday season, so please bring your children. And it is time for our teens to go to winter camp, which they love to do every year. It is Martin Luther King weekend in January, and our teens are selling Christmas greens this year to help raise funds. Beautiful wreaths, centerpieces, garlands, all for your home. You can have them delivered anywhere you'd like in the United States. So if you're looking for that perfect gift for somebody, sign up and have it sent over to them, or get one for your own home. And 25% of all that goes to support our teens and going to winter camp. So thank you very much.
It's true. We found such reception and welcoming through Community Resource Center because Seaside has such presence there. We give so much to them, and we're going to be giving 3,000 blankets to them this year. To those people that need, and the holiday gifts baskets will be for 1,500 families in need, and so we have blankets. Now, the blankets have already been procured. All we have to do now is pay for them. At the back of the family room, Sue will be there, and she'll tell you about getting those taken care of. But they were like very inexpensive because we were able to have Bill Siemens and Cindy Deast help us with the procurement. So you can, for $10, you can get tons of blankets. For 30, oh my goodness. One of the things that was an opportunity because of our relationship with CRC and our giving is that they've offered us a private tour with our children on Wednesday night. So from 6 to 7, our kids have their own special tour as Seaside donors, and I'm going to be meeting everybody at 5:45. We'll all go in together. Whomever would like to come, mom or guardian or dad, bring the children. There's instructions at the back, but you need to let me know because I want to make sure we connect during the week with an email or a phone call. Basic Beliefs is today. It's Jill McSweeney is doing that at 12:30 in the Emerson room. And of course, don't forget, Reverend Fran, we're going to be rocking on Friday night. Singles Ministry, my goodness, are they busy. They've got a dance night coming up, and our own Ronnie Marie is doing, there she is back there. She's going to be doing some professional dance lessons. And so that's going to be happening coming up soon. And they're also having, a singles happy hour of the 23rd of December. The month is packed full. Tamales, if you've not tasted them, Sharon De Leon and her husband do great tamales. You can order them in the back when you get done here. CRC has a whole area over on this side for non-perishable foods, so you can drop off your donations there. One of the things that our ministries do, and that's so important during the holiday season, is supporting those friends and family when there's difficult times. And there's going to be 2 events coming up to support those who are missing loved ones who have passed. This Thursday, the 6th, at 7 p.m., our wonderful Michelle Tiernan will be facilitating a holiday support circle, Coping with Grief at the Holidays. And then next Sunday, December 9th, Reverend Christian, Reverend Catherine, and Reverend Fran will be facilitating our annual remembrance service. Join them and us for a beautiful opportunity, honor, and remember someone dear who has passed on. Well, and let's not forget our amazing Reverend Tammy. She will be doing again Wednesday night. You are here to extend the love of God. I think I'm done. But now you get to stand up and greet and love up those neighbors.
All right, please remain standing. It's time for our congregational song this morning. It's Christmas time, so we're all going to sing Joy to the World.
Okay.
Here we go. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let them their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. All right, it's Christmas time.
Woo! Good morning, everyone. What a joy it is to be with you today on the sanctuary that is filled with such festivities. My goodness, this Wednesday night crew and their elves put it together. Thank you once again. All those that were involved with that, it is spectacular this year with the wreaths and the poinsettias and the trees and just the love that fills this place. And that's what Seaside is about. It is about love. It is about joy. And your presence here, it means a lot. It touches our hearts and our souls. And a special welcome to anybody who might actually be here for the first time today. Know that this is a welcoming place, an affirming place, an inclusive spiritual community that honors you wherever you may be on your spiritual path. We are here for one another in our times of joy as well as pain, and just to celebrate in community together. And Seaside truly is a place where we just work on being that spiritual nexus, that spiritual center that inspires people to live their dreams. And Reverend Tammy, you want to take it from here? Our very own Reverend Tammy.
Good morning. Happy holidays. Are you feeling it? You can feel it, huh? It's so beautiful because the entire world starts to put their attention and awareness on joy and love and giving and family. It just is, it's evident that that how powerful attention and intention is. It can change the world. And so that's what we're about as we do it here. So I want to welcome you all here. Thank you for being here and sharing your beautiful love and light. We just invite you to sit back and to open your entire being. Because right in this moment and in this space, there's a power and a presence that is so beautiful and so magnificent. And it is just knocking at our doors to let it flow through us and as us. And that's why we are here, to be an open vessel for God. So glad you guys are sharing that with us. So together, let us start our service by saying our vision statement together. Here we go. Together. Seaside Center for Spiritual Living is a loving, supportive, inclusive family community which inspires all to experience their spiritual unfoldment, healing, and growth through the principles of the science of mind. Our spiritual family gratefully celebrates the abundance of life and honors each individual's unity with God. Our joy is to express spirit through service, making a difference in the lives of all of those we touch. And here in this powerful teaching, we are blessed to have almost over 40 practitioners. Practitioners, an individual that knows the truth, that has done a minimum of 4 years of study to know the truth, to be the truth, and to hold it for all of us. So I'm going to invite forward now our practitioner today, which is Cliff Durfee, who's going to anchor us, beginning with stillness and anchor us in prayer.
Good. Now it's time for us to enter the silence. So if you allow your eyes to just close and be there for a moment, we're going to take a moment of silence and then we'll go from there. The divine presence is present right now, right here. The divine presence is present. God fills this room. The presence is always here. It's our awareness of the presence that we're connecting with right now. I know that I experience this presence here and everywhere. I know this is true for everyone in here. I know that this day is perfect. The talk today is beautiful. The words that are heard are the perfect words for each and every one of us, for us to unfold in this beautiful place of Seaside. I know it's all is well and all is good, and so it is.
You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. You're perfect,
Thank you, Reverend Fran. You're perfect, too. Thank you. Reverend Christian, welcome to those that are new today. And I just wanted to bring to your attention that back in the family room on the welcome table, if this is your first time visiting with us, we have a wonderful packet for you. In this packet is a Science of Mind magazine. It's all kinds of wonderful gift certificates for the bookstore and different things, information about who we are and ways in which you can be involved. And so I invite you to pick up one of these welcome packets if you are brand new with us today, and we want to welcome you. Also within there is a certificate for a book that Reverend Christian has written, Free Your Own Tibet. Fabulous book, and it's his gift to you for being here today. So I want to just be sure that you get all the gifts that we have for you because you have given us the gift of your presence. So thank you for being here. Thank you. And I have a special invitation that I would like to extend to everyone. Many of you know that I've been doing the Wednesday night service for the last 10 years. I've had the honor of being on this spiritual path with so many of you as we've grown and transformed and become more. And a special thing is happening at the end of this year. I'm going to be handing this torch off to a brand new minister that's going to be coming, Reverend Sunshine Day. She's going to be coming down from Long Beach. She has a partner that's coming with her. She's a powerful, powerful teacher, and she'll start taking over the Wednesday night service. It'll have a whole new look and a whole new expression. So I want to invite you to come be filled with this expression, this beautiful expression of God as on our Wednesday night service. And as we pass this torch, we're going to have a beautiful celebration, a finale party. The very last Wednesday night Amazing Grace service will be Wednesday, December 19th. So I want to invite all of you to come as we come together and celebrate this beautiful 10 years that we've had together and the creation that it's had, the lives it's changed and transformed, as we have a celebration night. And so that will be December 19th. And many have asked, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still staying here at Seaside, so don't worry about that. Thank you. And I really feel it's beautiful because as you shift and as you listen to that inner guidance, I'm already starting to feel something brewing in there. I don't know really what it looks like yet, but I'm excited as I create the space for a new expression for me too, which I'm due to share generously with all of you. So Spirit's good. Spirit's good. So
That is terrific. That was fabulous.
thank you all. Thank you. It has truly been my pleasure. So Reverend Christian today, as we're talking about the timeless truths of transformation, today he's talking about joy. And I've chosen a reading from one of my favorite books, Joy is My Compass, which was written by Alan Cohen. So I just invite you to take these words within as we realign with that concept of joy. He says, I have a new guru. Her name is Shanera. Shanera and I have become best buddies. One night, Shanera and I were sitting on the couch and I was reading her a bedtime story. What are you going to do when you get up tomorrow morning? She asked. As soon as I get up, I will meditate. Oh, she responded, then what? Oh, then I'll probably take a shower. Then what? Oh, then I usually do my yoga. Then what? The girl was persistent. Okay, I'm game. Before she asked again, I figured I would turn the tables on her and see what her plans were. How about you? What are you going to do tomorrow? I'm going to play. That's all I do is play. I play from the moment I get up in the morning till the moment I go to sleep at night. What a silly question. He said, I was nailed to a cross of therapeutic techniques. Here were all my plans to lighten up, to get free, to learn to be happy, all my methods to work my way towards more fun in my life. But she needed no preparation and no method. She clearly honors herself and the light that shines through her. She knows she deserves to be happy right now. I learned the same lesson from a friend of mine. I asked him, how do you make your important decisions? When you are feeling unsure which direction to take, what do you use for a guide? He immediately lit up and answered, joy is my compass. Whenever I have a choice to make, I ask myself, which alternative makes me feel the most joyful? Then I try each of the choices on for size. Usually there's one that feels lighter, freer, more like the real me. It feels like coming home. Then I know that is the direction that God wants me to go. Then I step out on faith, knowing that God would teach me by happiness, would rather teach me by happiness than by suffering. I have been following the joy voice for a long time now, and I have never been sorry. I know that God leads me through life to my highest good by lighting up the path of my best interests with joy. For there are tons of books, hordes of psychic consultants to read our orbs and auras, and endless arrays of methods and trainings to assist us in finding our way to our highest good. But none of them is as accurate, available, or valuable as the voice of love and joy that resides within our very own hearts. Our search for answers begins and ends with none other than our own self. And the most direct way to discover that self is to follow the path of joy. And so it's with that I invite you to move within with me. As we close our eyes to this outside world of creations that are already done, and move within to that inner sanctuary where new creation, where God is, where we step into that energy that is an infinite supply of peace, peace of mind, love, endless love, unconditional love, joy and happiness, grace, abundance and wholeness, right here, right now, in this very moment, an abundance to overflowing of the all good that is God. I know I stand in this place, which is holy ground, which flows with that all good that is God, through and as my very being. For 100% of spiritual growth never is about getting. It is about releasing and allowing that good to flow through and as me. And so it's with this that I sit here right now as we move forward through this service, open, available, and aware to more good, more joy, more peace, more love, more abundance, more wholeness than I have ever experienced before. For I am that vessel, unobstructed and flowing of the divine. I give great thanks for this truth and this knowingness as I release this into that infinite yes and watch its beautiful manifestation as my life, as your life, as the life of Seaside, and the life of this planet. The heart that is filled with love, I let it go. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? You're looking good. You're looking great, in fact. I'm so glad to be here this morning to introduce our beautiful Peggy Lebo as our guest artist. But before I do, I want to say a little bit about the concert that's coming up this Friday. A lot of people are giving up their professional time. It's a Friday night after all, and I want to honor them for doing that because what they're doing is giving to Seaside so that Seaside could have to share with the ticket fee that we can share and get a new soundboard, which we really do need for the music department, among other things. But we've all decided that a digital board would be updating, up-leveling, and make it very easy for sound people to work with rather than the stuff that we go through on Sundays. So I'm so grateful that we have donated our time to do this, and I want to honor them. And the way that we can all honor them is by coming. The doors will be open at 6:30. 7 o'clock will be the hit time. The jazz band will all be here. Robin Mitchell and Brenda Gunn will be putting on an extravaganza of refreshments at halftime, and you must stay for the second half because Tracy Larvens is flying in from Philadelphia from his assignment there with the Food Network to come back to record our second half with Melanie Bennett at the helm of our sound as it is now. And Lynn Willard will be here, and I have to tell you others, Rick Mars is singing, Aria is singing, Martha Gahn, and our beloved guest today, Miss Peggy Lebo. So would you honor her, and in advance for her Friday night attendance, and put your hands together for our beloved sister, Miss Peggy Lebo.
Good morning. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Fran's doing a live recording, and it's her first ever recording. So we all want to be here to support her Friday night. Yay. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, source of power, source of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, hail thee as the sun above. Melt away our fear and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light. Fill us with the light. Oh, fill us with the light of day. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, source of my happiness. Melt away our fear and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light. Fill us with the light. Oh, fill us with the light of day. Melt away our fear and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light. Fill us with the light. Oh, fill us with the light. Fill us with the light. Fill us with the light of day. The light of day.
Hey, that's Peggy Lebo filling us with the light of day on this bright morning. Thank you, thank you. That is so fabulous. Oh, my goodness. And you notice that little kid, what they do to be a spiritual master is play. And what do you think Peggy was doing up here but playing with us? So just thank you for doing that in our presence. The band, what do? They play, right? Some of the highest paid individuals in our society are sports people. And what they say at the beginning of the game, play ball, you know. Actors, they play roles. I mean, play, I think that is a real good way to experience joy. And Seaside has been based upon joy for sure. And last night was a blast for any of you that were there. We had a great time at the holiday parade as our float went down Main Street, PCH. The people were cheering. They were clapping. I really think that we will be hearing from the city that our float got first place. It was fabulous. Marv, you got some pictures of what we did there? That's a wave. Hey, the Sylvesters got us into this whole thing, and that is the crew that helped create this experience. Oh, there's Clarence working on lights with Ray. Steve, oh my goodness, he drove the big flatbed truck, and it was loaded with kids, and they were not possessed. And Karen may have been, that's for sure. And it was an incredible evening. As we went by the judges' table, there was David Hackett on the skateboard, just high-fiving them all, working on getting us votes. And it was a wonderful evening. So I encourage you next year to come out and plan to be part of us, a part of the experience. First Saturday night in December, and the streets were packed, and Ray Holder stepped in the last minute to do lights with Clarence. It was fun. Seaside is about enjoying the spiritual path. Too often people get so heavy and serious when they do their God thing, and it's like, you can have it. I mean, you know, you're entitled to being serious about your spiritual walk, but I'll tell you, Seaside has been based on joy from the day the dolphin lifted its head out of the ocean with a vision of our community coming together. And we have somehow honored that by answering it, by being present and creating community together. So what I've been doing this year is going through some timeless truths for transformation. And as we come to the end of that this year, I reflect upon last year when I put the 50 together that I was really thinking ahead of myself in a good way, because the last couple weeks I shared with you a couple of the qualities that are the most important to me, and that was grace and gratitude. But what I find interesting is today, joy is really my operating code in which I move through life with. I say, does this bring me joy? Is what I'm doing bringing me joy? Is it making me feel good? Or is it leading me to that place? If not, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because someone told me I should be doing it? Or am I doing it because it just turns me on? It gets me excited and gets me going. Because if not, if you're lying there in the middle of the night with your eyes open looking at the ceiling, or you've got your gut twisting, or something's going on, there's a message there. And if you don't get it, you're going to get... it shows up in your body or in your world of affairs. So you do pay attention to it. As Alan Cohen was saying, let joy be your compass. If you've got a decision or something's going on, is it moving me towards joy? Is it bringing me joy? Or is it moving me in the other direction? And do I really want to be miserable in life? I can't answer that for you, but I can't imagine that would be your thing. But some people are into that whole martyr complex and drama and all that. And that's their approach. And that's the thing that I think is valuable, is that for you to choose your own path is so important. Choose your own path, not somebody else's path. You should be doing this, because that doesn't work. To choose your own path, and with that path that you have chosen, not somebody else is choosing, not someone else who thinks you should be doing this, not the kids who think you should be doing this, not someone in your world that says you should be doing this, but if you've chosen your path, and with that comes some of the difficulties of this world, and that's part of life. It doesn't mean that doesn't bring you joy. You ever play the game of life or any of the board games? There's drama in those games, and that's part of the fun. But if you know inside of yourself that what it's going to do is lead you to a greater expression of who you are, a greater mastery of who you are, then you're able to go through that time. You don't need to label it bad. Hafiz, he talks about, imagine playing chess, and he's this 14th century Persian mystic poet. So imagine playing chess with a great grand chess master of all time. And every move that he makes is teaching you a greater mastery within your own life. Imagine everything that's taking place in your world is giving you the opportunity to have a greater sense of mastery within your world. I'll give you a little hint. Really, the essence of our work is to know that God is. That's it. Not God is this or God is that. That God is, period. That's the isness, the spirit that we speak about. God is. And what I want to do is enter into that isness, because as soon as I start thinking God is this, or as soon as I start thinking about God or praying to God or any of those things, I'm putting that outside of myself, and spirit is, and what I want to do is step into that divine vibration. I want to step into that frequency of spirit, and what Tehillah Shardan said, and you've heard me say this before, and actually my new book, I start with this very quote, and my book got shipped on Tuesday. I was hoping to be here today, but it's not. But anyway, I diversed for a moment, but back on track. Tehillah Shardan said, joy is the infallible sign of the presence of God. So if I can enter into that divine vibration, not trying to do anything, send anything anywhere, but just be in that divine vibration of God, which is joy, then what happens is that my world begins to attract those joy experiences, and that which is unlike spirit begins to fall away, and I need not walk around with a pig pen attitude thinking, oh, life is terrible and miserable. What I need to do is just plug back in to spirit. That's it. I got to my house and my toaster wasn't working. I'm going to give you a lesson my toaster taught me, okay? Spiritual wisdom from my unplugged toaster. Yeah. You know, I didn't send it off to toaster school to get in touch with how to be a better toaster. You know, I just didn't send it in to get in touch with its inner toaster, or how to become a toast master. I couldn't resist that. All you got to do is plug it back in, and it toasts just fine. What we've got to do when things don't seem to be working is just plug ourselves back in to the divine current, which I'm saying is one of joy, which I use to begin to direct my life. And when there is something that is out of balance, it's like trusting that the divine chess master is giving me an opportunity to come into a greater sense of mastery and congruence with that divine current, and not do something because I should do it to get through it. Don't should on yourself. It's very messy, you know. Should is somebody else's strategy that has gotten into your mind and your thinking, and oftentimes is not what will lead you to joy. It will lead you to what you should be doing, what you think you should be doing, what the obligation is. What I'm saying is listen. Listen to your inner guide, your inner intuitive self. It knows what is your highest and best for your life, not what you should be doing. I was down in Costa Rica this week, and I was getting out of the water from surfing, and I was coming up, and some guy came up to me and said, "Your surfboard, that's mine." I said, "No, I just bought it at a very reputable shop last summer when I was down here." And he went on to explain to me about the surfboard and how he lost it and exactly where the dings were in it, and obviously it was his. And now what I'm going to do, he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll pay you what you paid for that surfboard." So all of a sudden, now what should I do? Should I do the right thing? What's the right thing? Well, I'll tell you, the right thing for me was to listen to my heart. And of course it was this surfboard. He's going to pay me what I paid him, then by all means, take it back. It is yours. You know? And all of a sudden, I left feeling good, joy-filled. I could have been self-righteous. I bought it, and here's my receipt and all that. But no, I chose to give it back to him, and now I can go out and buy a new surfboard. Now that is a fun thing to do, you know. You can choose to play in life, or you can choose to make it a big, heavy, serious issue. Oh no, the surfboard. It's a surfboard, for crying out loud. It's the guys, give it back to him. You know, what are you blowing out of proportion in your life, in your world? This is your path, and this path is an invitation for you to be more of who you are. How do you know who more of you is? Is that correct? I like that. You listen. What is bringing you joy? What is bringing you fulfillment? What is bringing you right? Your path is not about being competitive. unless that's what you're into. But your path is an invitation for you to bring forth more of who you are and not to get into competition. Hey, look, I'm better than you. I'm greater than that. It's about being present in that moment and doing that which is in your heart to do. That's what brings you joy, when you're doing that which is in your heart to do. Alan Cohen, that wonderful book Reverend Tammy was reading from today, Joy is Your Compass, he shares an interesting story from that. And it's that the book wasn't selling well. And so it went out of print because of low sales. And he was debating whether or not to put the effort into redoing it or just letting it go. And as he was, been contemplating this, he was doing one of his workshops. And at his workshop, a participant stood up and said, Alan, I just want you to know, I read your book, Joy is Your Compass. And that it so inspired me to listen to what I wanted to do that I went out and I started an AIDS hospice. And just wanted you to know that my staff and I have assisted many individuals through the dying process. At this time, there was scorn and ostracized from family and friends, and there are many of these individuals who would have died alone, unloved, and uncared for. And because of your book, these individuals were able to make their crossing with dignity, with caring, and kindness. You just need to know the difference your book made. And Alan said, if that one book didn't make any other difference in the world, it would not have mattered. That made the difference. Listen, you don't need to go out and hit this home run or have this grand recognition. What gets you excited inside your soul to do? Go out and do that. Let that joy pour in you. Spirit is there. Life is there. It's you ever teach a child to ride a bike? Yeah, that the child is shaking on their bike, and it takes two things. It takes a firm hand and also freedom. It takes a firm hand and the freedom also to be able to let go. I'm thinking, that's a pretty good strategy for raising a kid across the board. Give them, But then I'm thinking, that's a pretty good strategy from life. That it's there to give us the strength. It's there to give us, and yet we are given the freedom to learn to ride, to be free, to soar, to fall. It's not controlled. And as you begin, it's important to remember that your first attempt is not the statement of your possibility. Your first piece of art doesn't necessarily show your full potential as Picasso. Your first attempt at playing an instrument doesn't necessarily show your possibility. That first attempt is just the husk, it's just the seed of that which you have to break through. I've worked with enough ministerial students over the last 20 years as I teach this church administration and management class. And they want to say, hey, give me that foolproof method. Give me the techniques. Basically, give me the bullet points to be successful. And I sometimes want to say, you know what? You got to take a few bullets to learn what those bullet points really mean. You got to bite the bullet and realize that you got to be willing to take the risk here and learn from that. That you will gain a lot more strength in your willingness to step out there and risk than you will ever experience caution from your protection. There's a joy of walking through this world with an ease and a grace and an assurance. And everybody has to start. They say a blank page will teach you how to write. An empty stage will teach you how to perform. You got to break the news to you. Even a surgeon has to learn on a real life situation. And have real life consequences. An interesting story, talk to one of your friends who practices medicine and ask them, they'll remember their first surgery, I assure you. You know, we have got to begin, we've got to start. We have to get in the river. We got to get in the stream. We got to get in the game so you can begin to make the choices that show up when you're in there, where you begin to be in the place where the possibility shows up in your life and in your world. I have the students say, but Christian, you know, I don't know if I'm good enough, which is I don't know, it could be a fair question, but it's the wrong question. I think the correct question is, am I willing to be good enough? Am I willing to not focus in on my shortfalls? Because there's always going to be a hole in somebody's resume. You know, there's always going to be, I don't know, a stain on the carpet in a place you want to be perfect. You know, I have people that are just such perfectionists, and they'll say, but Christian, it's a standard. And so often I just want to say, it's not a standard, it's an issue in your life. But I back off, usually. But what I want us to get is that the joy is getting into the game. And once you get into the game, you're going to have the challenges and the predicaments and the issues that come up. And it's not bad if you're playing this game called life. It will have its dynamics. But if you listen to, will this bring me joy? Will this bring me in the right direction? And you begin to say yes to that, you will be guided in the ways and the means that you need to be guided through that time and that dynamic in your world. Pema Chodron, she is a notable Tibetan Buddhist nun. And she said that when you're preoccupied with your self-image, like, do I have it perfect? Am I going to be good enough? And, you know, that kind of stuff. You might as well be blind and deaf. It's as if you're standing out in the field of beautiful wild flowers with a black hood over your head, or you come upon a beautiful tree with gorgeous singing birds, and you got earplugs in. You've got to take those earplugs out. You've got to take the hood out off your head so you can begin to see the possibilities that will lead you to a greater joy. The joy is from your soul expression. Your joy comes from saying yes to what is inside of you, to let it go. It's to stepping into that God vibration and feeling that. There was this, I think it was a wealthy guy, who was walking out in the forest dusk at night, and he came across this walled estate or this walled sanctuary. And there was a guard up there on the wall and said, "Who are you? What do you do here? What are you doing here?" And the guy's response took the guard by total surprise, something he had never quite heard in a responsiveness. He said, "Hey, how much do you earn? How much do you make?" And the guy, "What?" And the guy on the ground said, yeah, I'll tell you, I'll pay you double that to ask me those questions every day. Who are you? And what are you doing here? Ah, yeah. You know, who are you? What are you doing here? Is it leading you to joy? Are you doing your dharma? Are you doing that which honors yourself? Are you communing with the presence? Because as you do that, you become that place or that vortex through which that life flows. When that life flows, healing goes on. So often we think we need to pray and tell God what to do. There's nothing outside to tell what to do. I need to step in. I need to commune. Commune is not talking to. It is listening to that which is. God is. Remember that part? The mystical approach is the God realization. Keep it that simple for you. Mystic is the God realization in and through all things. You know, they say, but Christian, you know, this stuff is a cult. It's not a cult. A cult is when you give your power away to a person, when you give your power away to an organization, when you give your power away to, I don't know, some saint or being or something outside of yourself. That's what a cult is. What we are doing is saying, listen to that spirit that is your soul, that is life itself. Commune with that and be led by that. And you will not be led astray. Well, what's that? Well, I'm saying what that is joy. It's the infallible sign of the presence of God. It's not about what I'm saying to mind. It's what I'm receiving. It's what I'm honoring. It's what I'm being. Kathleen Dixon, She shares her story of being a single parent raising 4 children on minimum wage. She said things were tight, but she always kept a roof over their heads, food on the table, clothes on their backs. She said there was never a lot, but there was always enough. Later in life, her kids would say, "Mom, we never knew we were poor. We just thought you were cheap." She said she didn't mind that. But she said the hardest time of the year was like this time, the holiday season. There was not a lot of money within their house. She said that she would give the kids the holidays, Christmas, she would take them to family. She'd take them to the church services. They would go downtown, look at the lights, the lighting of the trees. They would have meals with friends. They would decorate their house. And what she did was she would save money through the course of the year, and she would save about $100. And the kids and her one day would go to the mall. So weeks before their big shopping trip to the mall, the kids would get excited. They'd start asking each other, "Hey, what do you want? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want?" And they'd start asking, and the excitement would rise, and the day would finally get there. And early in the morning, they would head off to the shopping mall. And when they would get there, Mom would give them each $20 and said, "Okay, this is to go out so you can buy everybody, all of us a gift. $20, that means that's about $4 a gift for the 5 of us." And then they would scatter, boom, for 2 hours. They would run around the mall trying to find their thing. And at the end of 2 hours, they would meet back at the Santa's Village decoration. And when they were coming home, the kids in the back of the car were just giddy and high with Christmas and teasing each other, "Hey, can't guess what I got you," or giving them hints and all that stuff. And she noticed her youngest daughter, Ginger, who was about 10, sitting in the front, not really involved. And she looked over and she saw Ginger just had a little flat bag. It was a plastic bag, so she could see through the bag that there were only a few candy bars in there. And she just could feel herself getting very angry. Like, "What did you do with the $20? She wanted to yell at her, but she waited till they got home. And when they got home, she called Ginger into her bedroom. She didn't yell, but she said, "Young lady, what did you do with your $20? What this little 10-year-old did is said, "Mommy, I was out looking around, seeing what it is I could buy. And I walked by the Salvation Army's giving tree, and there was this one card with this little 4-year-old girl on it. And all she wanted for Christmas was a doll and some clothes and a brush. So I took that card, Mom, and I went and I bought that doll, and I brought it back to the Salvation Army booth, and I gave it to them. And I only had enough money left for candy bars for all of us. But I knew you wouldn't mind because we have so much, and she had nothing." When you listen, the joy that comes is not what can be put into words. It's an experience. It's something that is real. You know, if joy is God, it says God is love. What else matters? What else really matters other than the love and the joy? And Seaside continues to be here to remind us of the joy, the love, the caring, and the compassion. God bless you in this holiday season. We're here for you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring Peggy Lebo back up.
Trust in the Spirit. I will open my heart. I will always remember the truth of God that has brought me this far. So lead me on this path of life. darkness, I will bring forth the truth. I will always honor the beauty and light that I see in you. So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. Lead me on this path of light. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely one. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely So lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. All I know is love. All I know is love. All I know is love and grace. Grace.
There you go. The message. All you need is love and grace. That is the vibration that Peggy brings us through song. Thank you so much. It is all you need, love and grace. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you commune with. You don't need to make it so difficult. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness. And but first, I just want to say thank you to all of you for your generosity in the last few weeks with our pledge program. It touches my heart with your outpouring of love, your financial pledges for 2013, and believing in the direction that Seaside is going. It is exciting to stand with that kind of conviction and that kind of support and that kind of love, and believing in the ministry and the vision that this community is. And 2013 is going to be spectacular, and it starts from being right in this very moment, in a moment in which we say yes to being that place to supporting Spirit in our life. And so I'd want to invite our ushers to come forward at this time and say thank you to this wonderful crew that facilitates this opportunity for us to give. I want to say thank you to those that mail in your contributions and those that remember us with the auto tithe, the regular systematic support. And thank you to our live streaming audience and our podcast for your support. I offer this prayer of gratitude with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this is a blessed moment where the fullness of the divine flows, and that each and every one of us is that wonderful resonant expression of God's good, knowing that our life has been touched and graced by God, and we continue to share that in ever-increasing ways, and that in this moment we become the activity of God personalized in our individual life. And so reflecting upon that touch within our heart and soul, we send this forth in love, knowing that it continues to bless and enrich all those with whom it comes in contact. So it is. Amen. Together, let us say the sharing of our tithes and offerings, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit. opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Let's say that again. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. As with the joy and the sounds of the season, it is with the light and the love that this gift has been given, and I know right now that it blesses the giver as well as the receiver. I just say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for allowing this to be a place in which Spirit moves so abundantly, touching our lives and all those whom this gift touches, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Guys, you were great today. That's our band, Seaside Band. Good going. And Peggy, always a joy, that's for sure. Fabulous to have you sing. Reverend Fran, we are looking forward to Friday night. That will be good. Woo. Thank you, Reverend Tammy. Always a joy to share Sundays with you. Giving us sound in the back is Ed. Giving us the visuals is Marv. Great job. Hey, there's a lot of fun going on at Seaside, like Wednesday night. If you want to see what the Community Resource Center is doing over at the fairgrounds to take care of 1,500 families within our neighborhood who will not experience the wonderful flow of the holidays, join Trudy, your board president. She takes the kids as well as any adults who want to see what's going on. We're having a private showing. Also, Friday night, come to Reverend Fran's and Friends concert and show and recording. But also, Debbie has created a space for Parents' Night Out, so you can come and have your children watch, or you can run off and do a little shopping and then come back. And so it's a Parents' Night Out also that's going on here. Then Sunday evening, we're doing a remembrance service, a time for you to share. If there's someone near and dear to your heart who's no longer physically in your world, but you want to just take a moment to pause and remember, hold up a picture, share a story. It's a powerful evening. It's a very personal evening, that's for sure. Parties going on for singles, parties going on for couples. There's a lot going on. But first, I want to say, where's Melissa and Brad? These two took like the majority of responsibility for creating the float. You want to stand up, Brad and Melissa? These two created a superb float that literally I'm expecting to hear wins Best Float in Encinitas. So, thank you. Yes, team effort. How humble. Well, Lots going on at Seaside. You can buy blankets for individuals. You can support us with canned food. We're giving it to individuals who may be without. And if you're one who would like to be a recipient of any of those goods, let us know. We'd love to take care of those that are within our family first. So please don't hesitate to let us know. But what I want to do right now is prayer. Prayer has been the thrust of our movement, and it's about stepping into that vibration. It's not sending out God requests. It's about stepping into the God presence and listening to that which you truly are, the isness of God. So I invite you to do that with me right here, right now. As I can feel and sense that divine movement and motion of spirit here and now, for truly the grace of God has filled this sanctuary. The love and the light of spirit is moved in this moment, enriching, uplifting, inspiring, and healing. And I step into this wonderful experience of the divine itself, and I speak from this place of revelation, of connection, of the divine God frequency, knowing that the truth of every member of this spiritual community is one of wholeness. And if there's anything in our individual life that is less than whole, that is less than comfortable, that is less than perfect, that is out of ease, out of balance, let us know right now it is the grand chess master giving us the opportunity to master our life to a greater level of joy, to move through our next soul lesson. That I am choosing in this moment to know all that is going on in my life is leading to greater good. I stand with an absolute conviction and trust, no longer giving my power away to anyone or anything or any situation outside. I stop shooting upon myself and stop responding to others' shame and guilt for not being who they think I need to be, and I step into that which I am and be that. And it's in this wonderful flow that healing happens, not because I'm telling life what to do, but because in that flow, anything unlike that divine vibration just falls off. It can't stick. So grateful to know the good, the healing that is personalizing its expression in my individual life, with a body that's right, a mind that is clear, a relationship that is dynamic and honest, an abundant flow, a peace, an ease, a grace, a security. I just say thank you. It is living in the state of grace and gratitude that I cannot help but to experience the infallible presence of God as joy and love, and know that there need not be anything more. So I let go. I trust. I believe in the divine right action. It's my very life. It's the very light and the heartbeat of Seaside itself. As we continue to grow and thrive, so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I did not know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged and trying to make it through just one more day, you got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what we have to say. Come on! I release, I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. You know I release and I let go. I let the Spirit one. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes,
You know there's no more struggle, no more strife. By faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God.
Right. And our affirmation for the week is, I am living a joyous life. Together, I am living a joyous life. Again, like you mean it. I am living a joyous life. One more time. I am living a joyous life. And our song of grace.
Living in love, I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, well it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me. Well, it moves through us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living.